Hello everybody, this is BSCAT100 and welcome back to some more Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Path, the Inherited Turnabout. In the previous episode, we went back to the future, I guess, after finishing up the memory of Gregory, and run into Dane, Gustavia, and Larry not in the best of circumstances regarding poisonous gas. This episode, we're going to find out exactly what Larry knows, trying to uncover the mystery behind this situation, and why the autumn room is so cold. If you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends so they can join in on this investigation. However, I didn't see anything, I didn't do nothing. Larry's an extremely restless and troublesome man. Until he cools down, I'll just wait and see. First, I'll ask him about his goal. This isn't something I can't handle. I'll finish this quickly. Time to play some logic chess. Why did you come here? What was your purpose for coming to the art gallery? What are you saying, that I don't belong in the art gallery? You don't belong here. No. Hey, if you're not gonna talk, hold that pose so I can paint your portrait. And then I'll scribble over the portrait I drew of you. I was just joking. I would never scribble over my paintings, of course. They're works of art after all. I don't think any of your works would qualify as art. Don't look down on me. There are people who recognize my skills as an artist. Mandy is my girlfriend, but it's really my paintings she fell in love with. That's why I'll sketch anything my girlfriend likes. Why are you here on your own today? So what? Can't a guy get some with a girlfriend and spend some time alone? Mandy said that she's a Gemini. I thought she'd be happy if I showed her a sketch of it on her next date. Do you really have that much confidence in the sketch? Well, I'm not so confident about this one. But I thought she would be happy if I did a sketch of her astrological sign. Came to see the Gemini sculpture. I see. That's just like you. To impress Mandy, you came here to see a Gemini sculpture. Didn't you? What? How'd you find out? Because you just unknowingly told me everything. Well then, I'm not saying another word from now on. He's finally decided to remain silent. In that case, I'll be more relentless in my questioning. I'll try to find out what he wants to do. What he was doing here at the art gallery. I expose his true motives. This shouldn't take long. What did you do at the art gallery? What did you do in this art gallery? What's with that glare? I don't really remember anything. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I just loitered around the fountain patio. You forgot a pamphlet? Did they give you a pamphlet at the reception booth after you pay the admission fee? Huh? Oh, is that right? So the admission wasn't free, huh? You didn't pay? Don't tell me! You sneaked in here without paying! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to do anything bad. It's just there was no one at the reception booth. That's why I thought you could come in here for free. Miss Hall wasn't there. Miss Hall wasn't at the reception booth. Yeah, it didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of the desk. Come to think of it, Gumshoe did say something about that. Miss Hall was busy activating the sprinklers from the security room. Because of the incident, she had to leave the reception booth. Poor Katie, she went to all that trouble to open up the place. And now the art gallery's star attraction, the Winter Palace, is completely ruined. Wait a minute. You know about the Winter Palace? You're certainly well informed about the Winter Palace, for someone without a pamphlet. The Winter Palace is what is your goal. The Gemini sculpture is located. You had your sights set on the Winter Palace from the beginning, didn't you? What? How'd you find me out again? That's right, my goal was to see the Gemini sculpture. From the very beginning, the Winter Palace was the very reason why I came here. You confess quite easily. You can never tell anything with this man. Next, I'll ask for further information regarding the Winter Palace. He may still have some fight left in him. I'll watch his reactions and extract the information I need. I have no more use for you. Did you enter the Winter Palace? Larry, did you also enter the Winter Palace? What's with that look of distrust? Sure, I tried going in, but... You couldn't get in? You tried going in, but you weren't actually able to, right? Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to go in, but... Then that old geezer collapsed. I was a little freaked out. It was because of the victim? So you couldn't get in because of the victim of the poison gas collapsed. But that wasn't the Winter Palace, that was the Autumn Palace. Yeah, it fell right out of the Winter Palace. I'm sure the victim emerged from the Autumn Palace. If it weren't for that poison gas incident, I'd be in there sketching the Gemini sculpture right now. They must have mistaken the Autumn Palace for the Winter Palace. That aside, it seems his goal was to sketch the sculpture. This should be a useful clue. What did you see in the Winter Palace? Larry, did you see anything in the Winter Palace? You're still hung up on that? Didn't I say that I didn't see anything? I started to think it wasn't such a good idea to come to the art gallery. I needed to leave soon to meet with my girlfriend. Perhaps I should try using that clue. Yeah, but what about your sketch? You came here to sketch the sculpture for your girlfriend, did you not? I don't think you would give up that easily. Even after the victim collapsed, you could still see inside the room from the outside, right? Well, I may have gotten a tiny glimpse, but... there's no evidence that I saw something scary in there, right? You saw something scary? My, I'm disappointed it turned out to be this simple. Larry, you saw something scary at the crime scene, didn't you? Edgy, can you read my mind? In that case, there's no point in keeping any more secrets from you. You just told me everything on your own accord. It was a complete waste of time, but finally, it's checkmate. My eyes fixed upon Gemini statue. Objection! You've mentioned the Gemini statue many times now, but I don't believe the sculpture you saw was a Gemini one. What? Was it a mirage then? Larry mistakenly thought he saw the Winter Palace. This piece of evidence shows what Larry really saw. Take that! Damn it. Damn it. Is it in the... No, it must be the... Oh, okay. This is what I get when I don't look at the evidence. Sheesh, take that! Take a look at this pamphlet. In the Autumn Palace, the Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, and Aquarius sculptures are displayed. Incidentally, I can confirm that the Gemini statue is located in the Winter Palace. Therefore, the sculpture you saw could not have been the Gemini one. I knew it. I expected him to be a bit more shocked at the news. I thought it was kind of strange. I know I saw a single goddess, and that transformation was no mirage. Transformation, you say? Oh, you're curious too, Edgy. Well, nothing for it. Guess I'll have to show you. Show me? What exactly? I drew a picture of the very scene I saw back then. But I really can't believe what I drew. Picture? What picture? This one right here. What? What is this disturbing picture? It was Pisces turning into Gemini. Because you see the tail on the... I'm pointing it. But if you look, you can see the two tails. The Pisces, the double fish. But then you can also see traces of the Gemini with the robed figure and the... Okay. Is that sculpture weeping tears of blood? Maurice, this picture is scary. Okay, it scared me too. This Gemini sculpture suddenly transformed into a goddess right before my eyes. I couldn't help but scream. So the victim collapsing wasn't what surprised him. What do you mean? What did you mean when you say transformed? I don't really understand it myself. The lower half of its body just turned into a fish. Fish goddess. That would be the Pisces sculpture, wouldn't it? In mythology, Pisces represents the fish that a goddess and her son transformed into. Really? So Pisces isn't just a couple of ordinary fish? Nope. Edgy, you don't think that the sculpture is cursed, do you? Those tears of blood turned his Gemini sculpture into a fish. Preposterous. You simply mistook Pisces sculpture for the Gemini one. Oh, so you put the sketch in your organizer. Even a sketch like this can be used as scrap paper after all. How could you? But it's strange. Why did only the lower half of the sculpture transform? Akare is a bit curious about what went on in the Autumn Palace. Indeed. I wonder if someone tampered with the Pisces sculpture. Oh, I remember part of this case. This is actually interesting. Poison gas isn't a threat anymore, so you can enter the crime scene. Right, good work, detective. It seems we can enter the Autumn Palace now. Nice timing, Mr. Detective. Let's go right now. I want to see the Pisces sculpture. If Kay's going, I'm going too. I was planning on bringing him along anyway. Right then, let's proceed to the Autumn Palace. So this is the Autumn Palace. It certainly does resemble the Winter Palace. Waiting, sir. Huh? Aren't you that hairy butts guy? Wrong, I'm Maurice Dunham. Never mind that, detective. Your reports, if you please. Roger that, sir. We discovered a used gas burner in our investigation. The nozzle was still warm when we found it, so it may be related to the incident. Was it used to heat something? Oh, okay. Was that ladder always on the ground? It was probably used by the person who set off the poison gas. Poison gas was released when someone lifted the lid off the case, sir. The Pisces sculpture. It seems like you know about it, sir. Well, then you know the sculpture next to it is. In the Autumn Palace, it would probably be the Capricorn sculpture. It's a goat, right? As expected, As expected, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought it was Taurus myself. I was thrown off as it was covered by this weird cloth. What? The fluorescent cloth. I wonder what it's doing here. Evidence from the IS-7 incident. matter what it is or how it got here. The two covered sculptures. The sculptures in this room are all covered with this fluorescent cloth. And because they're hidden, it makes me want to see them even more. Let's take a look. So let's just get this cloth off. Yeah, that is a goat. That is Capricorn. Wow, they're beautiful. Ram, that's Aries. You didn't think the transformation there he saw was in fact the moment the cloth wrapped around the lower half of Pisces fell. See, Edgy? It wasn't a mirage or a mistake after all. Ugh. Hey, Miles, there sure is something strange about this room. It looks exactly like the same as the Winter Palace when we were just a moment ago. Yes, I agree. Perhaps the sculptures were hidden to make it look like the Winter Palace. If you wrap up the cloth around the lower half of the Pisces sculpture, it looks like a Gemini. Capricorn is a half fish too. It has the lower half and it resembles Taurus. The remaining two, which couldn't be altered with trickery, were covered up. The Autumn Palace was made to look like the Winter Palace. So it seems, Mr. Shields. It looks like we'll need to conduct an investigation of the Autumn Palace too. Alright, let's get this over with. Mr. DeBest just caught me. Hey, you guys again. This is a problem. You see, this is my crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth, it seems my power is insufficient. If you're here, then it would appear that you still haven't understood my warnings. Ugh. Furthermore, you know full well your reckless actions will cause trouble for that detective. In the name of the goddess of law, I must pass judgment. You got it all wrong, pal. I was the one who asked Mr. Edgeworth to investigate. Really? Well then, Flatfoot, I'll have to do that. That? Yeah, that. Right. Cut your salary. Looking forward to your next payday. I've always wanted to say that. Ugh. You're the last person I want cutting my salary, pal. Hold it, DeBest. I am only cooperating with the police as a witness to this incident. Detective Gumshoe is not to blame. So that's how it is. Well then, should I be raising his salary? No, that's not what I meant. But it would be really nice to get my salary raised. Your message is deeply moving, Sebastian, but past transgressions must lead to future judgment. Prosecutor Edgeworth and all in his company departed from this holy site. But we only just got here. The one given the goddess of law's blessing for this incident was Sebastian. In other words, Mr. DeBest is the prosecutor in charge of this case. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening performance is over. Besides, I've already got my eyes set on the culprits. What? Who, pal? Kate. Larry? Really? Well, naturally, that artist. Me? Hey, what's going on, Edgy? Don't ask me. I can't understand his reasoning. If you can't understand how the best prosecutor thinks, it simply shows how inculpable you are. Seems he doesn't know what inculpable even means. That's right, Sebastian. Prosecutor Edgeworth is quite incapable. Yes, he's incapable. She just nonchalantly corrected him. Don't underestimate my intelligence gathering skills. I came from the infirmary and asked the doctor there about the cause of the poison gas. And what was the cause? Some normal substance. What was its name again? Hold on a second, I'll call the doctor and make sure. Sebastian is on the phone. I'll answer for him. In that case, why didn't you tell us before he called? The Poison gas was caused by a mixture of two different types of chemicals. The names are normalium and fatalium. Oh shit. Okay, so what exactly are those chemicals? Normalium is a red liquid that's commonly used in everyday products. It can be found in paints and detergents, among other things, but it's not toxic by itself. So you're saying that a substance really it's a substance readily available to anyone. Yes, but fatalium, on the other hand, is not so easily to obtain. Its name sure sounds dangerous. What's it used for? It is an active ingredient of a white pesticide known as megatoxin X. Fatalium itself has a deep white color, but it's not readily sold in stores. It's nearly impossible to obtain domestically. Right now, we are looking into how this chemical was obtained. Okay, I finally found out the name of those chemicals. Just Courtney has already told us. We don't need to hear it again. Fine then. I'll cut to the chase. You know that normalium from the poison gas is also used in paint, right? Today, outside of everyone who visited the art gallery, the only one who carried paint was that artist. You treat me as the culprit just because of that? I object to the red paint on the palette you're carrying. Edgy, don't you think this prosecutor is kind of an idiot? Indeed, although I've only known him for a short time, his logic is always absurd. Hey, don't ignore me! It's alright, Sebastian. They're only doing it because they're afraid of you. Like the first star to appear at night shows the reasoning that shines the best. The first star that shines the best. Not bad. Hey, you guys better listen up too. Alright. Fucking hell, the best. Mr. Best shining logic. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. So, what do you think, Justine? Cannot ignore the possibility. Well then, Mr. Artist, please tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else, did you cause the poisonous gas to go off? The only thing I leave behind is my bond of love with you. Please watch what you say. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty. Objection! Please pay no heed to this man's statements. Objection! Hey, you guys! Ignoring my reasoning is just because it's flawed. This won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave. Even though I don't really have the time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. Objection! Nope. This is the best. There's a contradiction. Is that true? It's not, Sebastian. Ugh, is it full of contradictions? My real problem is her rather than Mr. The Best. It seems he doesn't pay much attention to what other people are saying. There's a clear contradiction in Mr. The Best logic. Why do you even bother making a phone call? I'll finish this quickly. This is a waste of time. Objection! Not this one either. Oh boy. Okay. Third one. I know what the evidence is. Objection! Was this the wrong statement? Mr. DeBest, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star. Huh. It shines the best like a shooting star, right? It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. The poison gas originates from inside the glass case of the Pisces sculpture. Exactly, so that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the normalium in his red paint. As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. Listen to the explanation of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both normalium and phthalate together. The normalium contained in the red paint is not by itself not enough. Really? But I thought I heard normalium caused the fatality. Don't tell me you just misheard the forensics report. Darn it! By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. It is time for you to realize how incapable you really are. Hey, what do you mean by incapable? You tried to use that word earlier and you still don't know what it means? He means to say you are lacking in ability. Accidentally, incapable has a completely different meaning. I get it. You're making fun of me again, aren't you? I'm merely saying that you are incapable in your investigation. Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement. What kind of doubts? For all we know, Mr. Arts could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time. That's... Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case? The most important thing now is not the red paint, the red normalium and the white phthalate. Exactly how were those two substances mixed? I believe that is our main concern. Naturally, it was Sebastian's job to investigate that. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now. I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate. Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas. How the poison gas started, I have something that may shed some light on this matter. Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff. Come now, it's fine really, let's hear what he's come up with. If you say so, Sebastian. Also, I did not point this out before, but, oh god, is that in this game? No, it's not. It's called, it's gonna be a while before we get to this, but just take note of his uniform. Come on, show us. How did the poison gas start? I just gotta make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Take that! Man, I am fucking up all over the place. Huh. Oh, okay. Take that! Sure you're not saying that this was the cause of the poison gas? It seems even you noticed it. Duh, it really stands out. Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly normalium. Huh? Wait a second. If those were the chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas? I don't have time to play along with him. The red tears of normalium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. The red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas. What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed? That could also be seen in this sketch. Here is the evidence. Take that! A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed. Hold on 1 second, I still don't get it. How does this show that the normalium and fertalium were mixed? Since we have self-proclaimed artists here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add to red to make pink? Don't take me for a fool, Edgy. I'll have you know I graduated from middle school. You add white to red to make it pink. It's common knowledge. Well, technically there's rose pink, baby pink, and several others. Hold it. That's enough. Now do you understand, Mr. DeBest? Ah, that's how it is. By mixing red normalium with white fertalium, you get a pink liquid. Yes, exactly. Took it long enough. I see. Looks like Mr. DeBest finally gets it. Oh, fucking hell. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the color was as a result of two chemicals mixed together? Furthermore, the sketch was drawn by the suspect. I could not put much faith into it. I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Mr. Artist, I did not permit you to speak. Ugh, so cold. But that's part of a charm. Of course, I intend to bring the truth to light immediately. It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further. Hey, couldn't we find that out if we talked to the victim, pal? The victim, Dame Gustavia, remains unconscious in critical condition. Ah, that's right. Sebastian will be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises. If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the presiding judge. Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist? Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty. My name is Justine Courtney. Please don't address me by such a strange title. Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justine. I'm Larice Dunham, but you can call me Larice. Mr. Artist, please get to the point. I just remembered something I haven't had the chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in. But then, the old dude just just suddenly fell through the door. It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. But just because you say it was so doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value. Objection. Well, why not let Uncle Ray prove it to you? What? After all, we can confirm the room was locked too. Right, Miles? Yes, I remember as well. The Winter Palace should be... Okay, yeah, we're just gonna speed through it. It's locked. That's odd. Until the gas outbreak, no one could have entered this room. Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak. As you can see, this man did not inhale any of the gas. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either. Is that so? Well then, I have no choice but to agree. That was easier than I expected. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicions surrounding Larry. It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off once again. Wahaha! Wahaha! Not exactly. I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time. He sure has a grand way of saying that things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who is yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you are free to go. Huh? But I wanted to talk to you a little more, Justy. Overruled. Your cold demeanor leaves me mesmerized all the more. The other suspect is a pharmacist by the name of Delicious Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the Fatalium from Megatoxin X, but a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do that. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sebastian, it would be best if we brought her in quickly. Best if we brought her in quickly? Heh, sounds good, leave it to me. Hey Flatfoot, keep up the investigation. Got it. Don't tell me, Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning. So Mr. De Best logic wasn't any help at all. Judge Courtney, just what is she thinking? We are actually going to end it off here! It leaves a perfect ending, plus I know these videos are somewhat long. I kind of want to get to the ending point so I could. Okay, yeah. Anybody who records understands. Anybody who doesn't has seen videos that you kind of want to get to the end of a thought process before ending off the video. So, in the next episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, the Inherited Turnabout, we are going to talk to Miss Delicia and find out what she knows about this poison gas. I will see you guys later.